Hello, and welcome to another episode of Nathan's Movie Reviews. Now, aside from reviewing and talking about movies, I happen to be an avid fan of musical theater. Did somebody say musical theater? Jesus! Who are you? I am that figment in your brain that enjoys musicals. I am Musical Theater Nathan! Well, what are you doing here? Well, I'm here to help you with your review of Godspell. I never asked you to come here. Who invited you? I did. Oh my god. Anti-Nathan, what are you doing here? That's Dr. Anti-Nathan to you. You got a doctorate? Yeah, that's why I haven't showed up in a lot of your reviews. Alright then. But still, what are you doing here? Well, I told a musical man here that you were reviewing Godspell and that you needed a little help with it. Precisely. Well, I don't need help for this review. Yes, you do. Trust me. You have Dr. Anti-Nathan covering the books. But you should have me to cover the Broadway side of things. Listen, I'd love to sit here and chat, but I've got a date with Siamese midgets and I'm not wearing a watch, but I'm late. How did you get Siamese midgets? Craigslist. Alright then. Gotta go. Deuces. He can teleport? Alright then. Talk about the musical. Alright then. This movie, made in 1973 and distributed by Columbia Pictures, is based on the musical of the same name, which in return is based on the Gospel according to St. Matthew. The musical's book was written by John Michael Tebleck with music and lyrics by Stephen Schwartz, the guy who would eventually write the music for Wicked. The musical is about the forming of a community of ensemble members through the story and teachings of Jesus Christ. Several famous actors got their start from this show, including Martin Short and Victor Garber. Garber stars in the movie adaptation and is also in another movie called Titanic. The setting of the show can take place basically anywhere. However, most companies stick to the Broadway version, which is some type of junkyard. Costumes are minimalistic too. They are normal street clothes, bright colors, and even clown makeup. Hey, the musical was popular in the 70s. In 2012, they did a revival of the musical in the Circle in the Square Theater. Now let's talk a little bit about the movie. The film version was directed by David Green and stars most of the original off-Broadway and Canadian cast members, including Garber, David Haskell, Jerry Sroka, and Jeffrey Milet. The movie version is different from the stage version. Songs are removed, songs are added, the lessons that Jesus teach are switched around, and there's other differences. There are also several similarities between the two mediums. The gang's hangout is still in a junkyard, but most, if not all, the musicals are sung in public. The movie is also set entirely in New York, with several landmarks acting as the actor's stage. They even dance on top of the World Trade Center, which, at the time of filming the movie, was still under construction. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's get on with the film story. Now, this part of the review is going to be a little bit different because there's not a lot of story in this movie. I mean, there is a story there, but mostly it's just the disciples telling each of the parables with Jesus standing by. And no, this is not a real religious movie. This movie is about the formation of a community of friends, but it uses the story of Jesus to drive that point home. There aren't a lot of characters either. Most movie websites just show the actors' names as the characters. Nathan's right. In majority of productions of Godspell I've seen, actors are basically playing exaggerated versions of themselves. The only two characters that are in the show are Jesus and the dual roles of John the Baptist and Judas. At the beginning of the movie, John calls together all the ensemble members to baptize them. Then Jesus shows up and is all like, "Hey, I want to get washed up." No, literally, that's the line he says. So he baptizes him and they build a strong friendship. Later on in the movie is the Last Supper and the eventual crucifixion of Jesus. It's a very sad moment when Jesus has to say to the person that has been his closest friend throughout the story that he will eventually betray him. And it makes it even more heartbreaking when Judas eventually crucifies Jesus. It may not have a lot of story, but this movie's really great. This has been my review of Godspell. I definitely enjoyed it, and I think you will enjoy it too. Well, that's all for today's review. See you next time. Bye! And as to you, Musical Theater Nathan, thank you for being a part of this review. And I couldn't ask anyone else better to review it with. I hope to do more in the future. Find some movie musicals that I can help co-review. Well, see you around. Bye! See you, Musical Theater Nathan. Musical Theater Nathan, that name's kind of tongue-tied. Alright, let's see what my next review is. Oh, movie gods! Send me the next movie for review! Oh no. Hello viewers, Anti-Nathan here. I put this little message at the end of the video, and Nathan didn't even know, to remind you to click the notification bell to know every time when my twin brother over here posts a video. Now if you'll excuse me, I have other matters to attend to. How to conquer the world. That easy? Wow.